strikes damaged it. They did not destroy it. Israel believes Iran is storing centrifuges inside a heavily fortified mountain, not enriching yet, but ready. Netanyahu took maps to Washington to make his case stronger. Trump has 3 options on the table: negotiate, sanction, or strike again. The war damaged Iran's nuclear program. It did not end the substance. Israel believes Iran's nuclear program remains active despite recent military strikes, with senior Israeli officials claiming Tehran is storing centrifuges at the heavily fortified Pickaxe Mountain facility and warning the program has been delayed rather than eliminated. The assessment emerged after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's latest meeting with US President Donald Trump in Washington, where the 2 leaders discussed possible next steps on Iran. A senior Israeli diplomatic source told the Jerusalem Post that Israeli operations had successfully targeted nuclear scientists, enrichment facilities, centrifuges, and key infrastructure, significantly setting back Iran's program but stopping short of destroying it completely.
There are centrifuges at Pickaxe Mountain, even if enrichment is not currently taking place.
Iran dominated discussions between Netanyahu and Trump, with the US president reportedly considering 3 broad options, which are negotiating a new nuclear agreement, maintaining and tightening economic sanctions, or pursuing further military action. The Israeli source described the meeting as a substantive strategic consultation rather than a routine diplomatic engagement, with both leaders examining each option in detail.
This was not a meeting where we came to check a box. It was a genuine consultation in which each of the options was examined on its merits.
Netanyahu also used maps during the meeting to argue against calls for an Israeli withdrawal from parts of southern Syria. Israeli officials also portrayed Iran as facing mounting internal economic pressure, citing fuel shortages, inflation, long queues at petrol stations, and growing public discontent. According to the source, Tehran's leadership is increasingly concerned that worsening economic conditions could trigger broader domestic unrest. The question of Israel's long-term financial relationship with Washington also featured prominently. Netanyahu presented what the source described as a new strategic vision, proposing that over the next decade, Israel move from recipient of US military aid to full partner in weapons development, research, and technology. The foreign military financing program would eventually be phased out and replaced with joint development projects benefiting both countries. The senior Israeli diplomat described the depth of strategic ties between Washington and Tel Aviv, and the US role in the Iran war as follows.
Israel is grateful for every cent, but the state wants to move from assistance to partnership.
Separately, Netanyahu held a private meeting with US Vice President J.D. Vance at Blair House after personally requesting the discussion. Although officials declined to disclose details, they described the conversation as candid and constructive, despite recent public disagreements between Vance and members of Netanyahu's governing coalition. The Israeli source also claimed that support for Israel in the United States has been eroded by the Gaza war and coordinated social media campaigns allegedly backed by Qatar, China, and Russia, while maintaining that Israel continues to expand security and technological cooperation with several Arab states despite public criticism of its military campaign. Fresh intelligence assessments have raised new questions over Iran's nuclear program, with reports suggesting Tehran has relocated thousands of uranium enrichment centrifuges into a heavily fortified underground mountain complex. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Israeli intelligence has concluded that Iran transferred thousands of nuclear centrifuges into tunnels beneath Pickaxe Mountain, located about 1.5 kilometers south of the Natanz nuclear facility. According to the report, Israel shared the intelligence with the United States, assessing that the centrifuges were moved after the 12-day Iran-Israel war in June 2025, during which the United States and Israel struck Iran's 3 principal nuclear facilities. As per the Wall Street Journal report, Israeli officials believe previous military operations did not fully address Iran's nuclear weapons-related infrastructure.
The airstrikes carried out during the recent war did not focus sufficiently on activities related to nuclear weapons development. There was more work to be done, including at Pickaxe Mountain.
The Israeli officials suggested that further military action may be required against the underground complex, reflecting growing concern within Israel over Iran's remaining nuclear capabilities. The journal's report also points to an emerging strategic gap between Washington and Tel Aviv.
Israel's war aims have increasingly diverged from those of the United States. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has sought to persuade President Donald Trump to resume a broad military campaign against Iran in order to further delay Tehran's weapons programs and reconstruction efforts.
The assessment comes as US President Donald Trump publicly suggested that Pickaxe Mountain could become the next military target.
Pickaxe is a possible target for a nice big fat shot right near the front door. We see no activity there. They're not doing well with their nuclear situation. We'll probably give Pickaxe a shot relatively soon.
Trump's remarks came after CNN reported earlier this month that satellite imagery showed trucks entering and leaving the Pickaxe Mountain complex, potentially indicating reconstruction or renewed activity at the underground facility. Independent nuclear experts say the reported movement of equipment is technically feasible. David Albright, president of the Institute for Science and International Security, speaking to the Journal, said,
"It is plausible that Iran moved centrifuges into the tunnels at Pickaxe. Construction activity at the site has continued steadily over the past 15 months, including truck traffic, tunnel reinforcements, and the establishment of a security perimeter."
At the same time, Israel does not want to fire the opening shot, but it is preparing for a moment when it could join an American operation, respond to a direct Iranian attack, or launch a preemptive strike against an imminent threat.
We are waiting. If they call us, we will come. We still have many targets, including infrastructure, nuclear facilities, missiles, and other areas. If there is a call, we will act. The IDF is ready. There is 100% coordination with CENTCOM.
The International Atomic Energy Agency has previously stated that Iran has not granted inspectors access to the Pickaxe Mountain site and has provided no information about activities taking place there. IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi said in March that Iran had informed the agency in 2021 of its intention to conduct nuclear-related activities at the location, but international inspectors have yet to verify what is currently taking place inside the underground complex.